Game on here in Cary, North Carolina. Somebody will become a champion here today. And this is an incredible matchup between number 1 and number 2 in the nation. Early possession here from Notre Dame. Notre Dame comes in at 14-1-2. Stanford at 16-1-1. Notre Dame at one point was number 1 in the nation, but at the end of the year, it is Stanford who is locking down that spot. Here is the very talented Charlie Codd. Joseph now.
And this is what Notre Dame wants. They want to try to find this outside space, try to put a little bit more pressure on Stanford. Once Stanford gets into their rhythm, they can be incredibly hard to defend. Notre Dame will want to try to stay away from that.
Yeah, by the way, we witnessed that against Virginia. They just came out flying. It was one of the highest tempos we have seen. And here is Stanford trying to up that tempo right now to start this one. Long cross will come in. The header is going to go out and wide. But boy, they thumped in a lot of crosses in the last game in the semifinals against Virginia from wide areas.
They certainly did, and it starts because their 10s, Shea Harvey and Charlotte Kohler, get in an expansive shape. They look where they can break the line behind the midfield group, so it draws so much attention that the wide space is so available.
There's Paul Ratcliffe looking for his first ACC championship. He's won 3 national titles. What an outstanding coaching career for him. He's in his 23rd year, the 9-time Pac-12 Coach of the Year, and it's year number 2 in the ACC for Stanford after moving conferences.
And Glenn, that's a great step by Leah Klinke in there. That's where Stanford had so much success, was getting their outside backs forward. So a part of what Nate Norman told us he wants to do is make sure that they're not able to settle in possession, whether that's centrally or wide.
Ooh, heavy collision here. It's that one silenced the crowd. Morgan Roy, the talented winger there, in a heavy collision with Lizzie Uwama. And the place went silent the minute those two collided.
You definitely don't want to see that, and it's hard because both players have their eye on the ball as that's coming from distance, both going for it. So just a tough challenge there. It looks like Roy's going to be okay, but great from both of them going forward. They're looking at the ball, not necessarily even looking at one another, and that's what causes the challenge.
By the way, Morgan Roy, let's talk about her a little bit and how important she is today for Notre Dame.
She is, and she got really into advanced spaces in the last game, especially in the second half versus Duke. She's a facilitator in the attack when she does get forward and has the engine to cover ground.
She's got 7 assists. Morgan Roy laid on that beautiful pass to Annabelle Chukwu that led to the game winner against Duke in the semifinals. Good look there, Lizzie Bounois. 2 assists for her, sophomore from San Diego, has been in with the under-19 U.S. women's national team. So for the moment right now, Morgan Roy is off the field and will re-enter shortly here. Big switch of play, back on she is, full complement of 11 now for Notre Dame. Abby Mills side-footed that one away. Joseph now. Another good pass for the ball. She's made space, whips the ball in the box. And right in the vicinity there was none other than Izzy Engle.
Well, Izzy Engle is always going to operate in that central channel. She's very optimistic in the way she makes runs. So while we talked about Stanford looking for service, that's something that Notre Dame's going to be looking at as well if they can catch them off guard on those movements.
Trying to break her way through there was Andrea Kitahata. She's only got 13 goals this year. I mean, everybody up front has powered in goals. Great turn, head up now. And Notre Dame's got Morgan Roy on out wide here, and Joseph gets it to her feet. Wise ball from her. Here's Roy. Playing into the striker Engle. Nearly gets turned and gets doubled up nicely by Stanford.
Well, that's what Izzy Engle can do. She not only looks to go in behind, but she can pin center backs as well. They can play into her feet.
Kitahata breaking out again. And they're going to bring it back for a free kick here for the Cardinal.
And one of the things we are seeing is that Andrea Kitahata is actually playing off the left side today. Klinger is off the right side. They were opposite against Virginia just on Thursday night. So some different player profiles and ways they like to take on, just switching up what side of the field that they're going to play on and facilitate.
Is that inversion maybe because you want to make sure that you're compact defensively when the ball's lost?
It certainly can be.
As coaches talked about the expansive nature of this field and how wide it is. Long ball coming into the box and skips into the arms there of Notre Dame goalkeeper Sonoma Kasika. Here's Roy. By the way, picking up a yellow card was Lizzie Buama after that heavy collision. Driving it forward here is Wynn for Stanford.
We can see the pressure initially. That's something that Notre Dame has wanted to do all year, is take teams out of their rhythm. They thrive on this pressure, but the midfield line has to come together. You see Lily Joseph stepping there. Not bad from her, just a little bit late.
Wynn working some magic in midfield now. Plays it forward here. She hits the feet of Harvey. Harvey gets it wide. Kitahata now towards the end line. Can she get the cross in? And it's a goal kick.
And we talked to Nate Norman about it, not letting the holding mid, Elon Wynn, get on the ball and facilitate play out of a 4-3-3 is essential to the Fighting Irish having a good performance today. They do not want Wynn on the ball too often.
Nate Norman looking for that first ACC championship, has gotten the team to the semis many times. Took over in 2018. It's an 8th year for Nate. 2 of the last 3 years, they've been to the quarterfinals of the NCAA tournament. All over the top. Chukwu trying to get there. He's always a target. And coming over to break the play up with some lateral cover is the ACC Defender of the Year, Elise Evans.
Elise Evans does well there because she reads that it goes in behind Lily Freer, but we saw Charlie caught on the ball. She is going to look to find the ball herself in midfield for the Fighting Irish, and her recognition of space, of when to keep it versus when to look in behind, is essential to how those two front runners like to receive service.
It's a good look at Charlie Codd for Notre Dame. Goal and 3 assists on the year. She had that beautiful pass to Izzy Engle. Really was one of the top players in that semifinal.
She really was, and she's been very good throughout the year, but that was one of her best performances.
Boy, real struggle to get out here for Stanford. Somehow they're still in possession. It's finally broken up. This is a bit of a dangerous ball to deal with here. Notre Dame wants to get around the ball here today against Stanford to kind of break their rhythm.
Well, it is already a better start than we saw versus the Fighting Irish in the way they press. They're doing it more for Stanford, but smart from Mia Buddha just to hit that long, be able to gain territory, get a little bit higher. Now you can allow your back line to rest a little bit and you own some space higher up the field. That
was Abby Mills coming out of the middle for Notre Dame there. Big game for her. She did not play last year. Another cross coming in. That to the far post. There's a player there and the header's wide. Great opportunity for Stanford. Great piece of delivery. That was Kitahata at the far post. And that's why sometimes you just clear space because you allow us to set play higher. Buddha gets the ball across. Morgan Roy does not find Kitahata on the backside. As that service comes, she has to get touch tight. Kitahata does well on that run in the far post. Boy, that was a great piece of delivery to pick her out. Trying to get turned is Roy. She's going to get called for the foul here as we see a nice matchup developing between Roy and Buama. And Roy just looking to get forward. She's occupying Buama in this, and you said it. It's a great matchup between the two. Just clips the heels a bit. Goal kick Notre Dame. Very aggressive team, 8-1-1 in the ACC. They finished second, so they're 1-2 in the country in the national poll, and they're also number 1 and 2 in the ACC. They were 9-0 at home in South Bend. 4-1-2 on the road, and by the way, they have history with Stanford. Last year they lost in the Elite Eight of the NCAA tournament to Stanford, so that was after beating them in the regular season. So Nate Norman says, yeah, we got a little bit of a chip on our shoulder.
There's not a lot that separates these two teams. I mean, they have great battles between the two of them. We're seeing it already that both can facilitate possession. Both are trying to press really high. It's going to come down to some big moments in those attacking thirds.
Aikey brought it down, had that spectacular goal against Virginia on the stroke at halftime. Everybody thought it was over, and then Steve Swanson and Virginia come out in the second half and absolutely flipped the switch and flipped the game and ended up scoring 2 goals and making it a little bit nervy at the end for the Cardinal.
They certainly did, and Stanford still comes out with the win. I actually think in some ways for Stanford, it was a good thing that they got a little bit nervous there and Virginia made a run, because it shows them that you have to play an entire 90 minutes, and they did. They were just managing the game a little bit, and Virginia needed to work to get back in it.
Flicked on by Engle. She's self-passed there, but off her line is the #1 goalkeeper in the ACC, Caroline Burkle. 5'11" freshman in goal for Stanford from St. Louis, Missouri. Notre Dame's going to win this back here.
Because of the pressing of the Fighting Irish, they put 4 across the back line in their build-up, so it becomes this midfield battle when they go long. First and second balls are going to be key for Stanford to settle in the middle third.
Boy, Stanford got around Joseph. They won it back. It's a good switch here. And an even better defensive play from Carolina Calzada. Long run here and out for the goal kick.
This is really good on the change of point. Calzada coming across. Eleanor Klinger trying to get in, just putting her body there. If you're going to commit like that, you have to win the ball, and she does just that.
Thank you.
You got to think central defenders today are going to really have to come out laterally with the amount of good wingers that are out here.
They certainly are. The Fighting Irish are in that 3-5-2, so Roy and Klinke are essential in the wide space. But even for Stanford, they love the change of point, playing through their 6, their single pivot holding midfielder to get the other side. So the reading of service, the understanding of how to cover that space is very important to both of these groups.
Claire Logan whips it wide. Here's Roy now. Roy tries a first-time ball. That's side-footed away by Elise Evans. Win. Kohler. And some extended possession here now for Stanford. Today, 3 p.m. Eastern on ABC, NWSL quarterfinal action continuing. The Thorns and the Wave live from Providence Park and Portland, Oregon. Who you got in that one?
Oh, that's a tough one. There's going to be goals in that, I think. San Diego Wave has proven they can score a lot.
Expecting a lot of goals here today. Stanford, Jasmine Aikey tried to turn there. Great tackle. That'll just remind you that tackling is an art and a skill.
100%.
Another cross comes in, and header's going to go wide of the goalkeeper, Sonoma Kasika. Let's get your thoughts on kind of the early minutes in this one.
Well, Stanford's certainly looking to go forward, and Jasmine Aikey on this play tries to go, but Abby Mills steps in. The tackle was perfectly timed. I think what we're seeing is that both teams are really committed in their pressing shape. Stanford's actually pressing out of a 3-1-4-2, so they're not letting Notre Dame build up at all. On the flip side, Notre Dame is committing numbers forward 4 across the front, back line of Stanford. So there's a lot of winning possession in the middle third. That's where both of these teams can win it and set play to go forward.
Evans wins the header. It's helped on by Shea Harvey. Very, very vital to that midfield for Stanford. As much as we talk about the strikers today, I mean, there's tremendous matchups in midfield here. And who's going to own that turf? And under pressure there for a moment was Burkle, who had to get that away.
Notre Dame has bought into the press. This is something we've seen throughout the entire ACC regular season as well. You don't do that unless you trust that your lines are going to step behind you, and Engle does a good job.
Uwama knocked it forward. And Notre Dame's going to get out of there. That was a bit nervy for a moment there. It's one back. Aikey trying to get there, and here's the wonderful retreating defensive work of Charlie Codd of Notre Dame.
Well, one of the changes we've seen since Thursday is Charlie Codd. She's actually playing in a lower position. She was the single 10 in their last matchup versus Duke, playing a little lower, a little more defensive responsibility as well, and getting on the ball in a lower position.
Quick free kick, they get it out here to Roy. That's Lainey Matriano over the top with that direct ball. We don't talk a lot about her, but her coach, Nate Norman, wants her getting on the ball as much as possible.
100%. She's going to be facing forward a lot in this game, so her distribution will be key. Trying to find those entry passes into the feet of Izzy Engle, Annabelle Chukwu, or looking to play that back spinning ball in behind that lures Burkle out, but would have the timing and the pace for the forwards to get on it.
Now Stanford with the press. Kitahata is turning back Logan, and it's going to earn a throw into Stanford here. Elon Wynn knocks it back. Here's Elise Evans. Here's a driving run forward now as Stanford joining in the attack. A nice little flick there. Shea Harvey into the box, and not able to control it was Kitahata. Another collision here. This time it'll be a free kick for Stanford.
It's beautiful play. Mia Buddha just outplays in the 1v1. This is the optimistic work I'm talking about from Stanford. They understand and trust one another to go forward. It just goes under the foot of Kitahata. But Shea Harvey running off the ball, Kitahata running off the ball, and outplaying in the 1v1 off the dribble from Buddha starts the whole attack.
Kitahata has 4 game winners on the year, and it's been a live wire in this one since this got started today. There's a loose ball in the box. It'll be a free kick, Notre Dame.
And just like I was talking about trust on the defensive side for Notre Dame, if you're going to press, you have to have the trust. Same thing for Stanford in the attack. They have that optimism and that trust, so they run for each other off the ball, and that's what allows their further fluidity.
There's a good look at Lainey Matriano. We spoke about her a minute ago. Head coach Nate Norman said, yeah, we want to get her 70 to 90 touches a game. And she's an excellent link player. Just provides the balance in midfield. Chukwu trying to do some magic off the dribble somehow is going to come out of there.
Oh, that's great
Morgan
timing.
Roy. Oh, what a
That's
great
when it has
ball.
to switch, Glenn. It's a great ball out to the wide channel.
That was Charlie Codd who got it there, and now it's led to all this space for Morgan Roy here down the right side. She's got her head up. She's going to get a cross in to the far post. Chukwu trying to get there, headed away by Stanford. Second ball picked up, shot it wide. Great attack here from Notre Dame. Probably their most impressive. All started with a big switch of play.
It certainly did. Chukwu and Lily Joseph get out of that initial pressure, but Charlie Codd recognizes the space. Roy is able to get this ball across. Chukwu doesn't win the heading battle, but Klinke's right there to try to sneak it in. Doesn't quite get the contact she'd like, but lots of numbers committed forward for Notre Dame.
Annabelle Chukwu, 11 goals, 2 assists, sophomore from Canada. Has represented Canada at the under 20 level. It's just amazing, like we said on Thursday night, how many of these players have youth international backgrounds and the experience, the travel, all the things that come with it.
This is what started everything, was Annabelle Chukwu in this area just trying to get out of some tight space. She keeps the ball, somehow gets away from 3 defenders. It started the entire play because of individual efforts like that.
So Stanford stepping up the pressure here off the throw from Notre Dame. Everybody dragged to one side of the field, and that's the wise ball to play it to Buwama now. This is Buwama against Roy. Roy's going to win this individual battle, and maybe that's what today comes down to, winning individual battles.
It certainly feels like that, even from the offensive side, as when Mia Buddha just beat her player to get into the attack, then you pull out other defenders if you can win that 1v1 yourself.
Here's Buddha going on a run again. Oh, nice threaded pass. It's turned to midfield here now. This is a driving run from Kohler, and Kohler's last ball's not there. She comes off a 2-goal performance in the semis against Virginia. Excellent player, Charlotte Kohler, sophomore from Woodside, California. Towards Chukwu. Buddha got a head on it. Buddha's going to get called for the foul.
First and second balls are critical because the pressing of both of these teams is so tactically efficient, and also they're very aggressive in it. They're going to have to win those first and second balls there and avoid having those types of fouls.
Notre Dame is really trying to get Morgan Roy on the ball.
Oh, she's certainly a playmaker in the wide area, and if they focus too much on her, Stanford, then Klinke can do it on the opposite side. Out of their 3-5-2 shape, this is the space for Notre Dame to take advantage of.
Here is Klinke now. She's going to work a 1-2. Klinke getting into the box, squares it back, and stepping in beautifully at the moment of truth there is Buwama. Calzada. Klinke. Puts it in the box. Engle is in there, and off her line is Burkle. No harm done here. She's down for the moment. And the freshman goalkeeper, good concentration to hold on to that.
Great concentration, incredibly brave coming out. Izzy Engle is a force there in the box. And I like this ball from Klinke, though. It makes Burkle make a decision. And if she's hesitant at all, Engle's in that moment, but very well done by the goalkeeper.
First freshman to get the start in goal since Jane Campbell back in 2013, and the NWSL fans will know her from the Houston Dash. And again, Burkle as a freshman, the ACC Goalkeeper of the Year. Nice switch. And that came off the foot of Claire Logan.
Great recognition from Calzada to play that in the one touch as Klinger's pressing.
Coming in, hitting a good right-footed shot there with real good power was Leah Klinke.
And not only are they switching the point of attack, Notre Dame, but I like how optimistic they're being around goal. You constantly see Chukwu and Engle, just any kind of rebound, they are running towards goal as well. So if there's any kind of mistake, they're on the front foot to get on the ball.
Notre Dame, Chukwu now pressing. It's a missed hit. That's going to spin out for a corner here for Notre Dame. Off of that clearance from Burkle.
Well, until Stanford solves how to build out against this pressure, I wouldn't slow down if I'm the Fighting Irish. It's working, they're committing forward, so you want to take advantage of it. It has to turn into goal opportunities, though, and that's really the next evolution.
Taking the corner, Notre Dame, number 23, Morgan Roy.
All packed in inside the 6-yard box around the goalkeeper here. It's Notre Dame off the corner. Goes towards the back post. And as you mentioned, Casey, the second and third phase of these corners and set pieces become really important. Here's a ball ripped in, and that one will go out for the goal kick.
It certainly does become important is how they organize under the ball to make sure if it is cleared, there's second and third services that go in when defenses are a bit more susceptible to giving up goals in those moments.
Allie Montoya comes on. And Sammy Smith comes on as well. So very different conditions. The other night it was nice and cool for the second game. It was below 50. Today now it's 71 degrees. We saw Stanford come out like a buzzsaw in that game with one of the highest tempos you could imagine, scoring 3 goals in the first half. And that's going to be a foul there, professional foul there from Lainey Matriano. She's going to, you would think, pick up a yellow. Yes, she will. So Matriano has a yellow, and also Bawama for Stanford.
And that's Elon Wynn just getting around Matriano. She pulls on the shirt, an obvious foul and yellow card moment. This is what they don't want to see from Stanford, is Wynn on the ball, running at pace. And that is the difference since Thursday, is Notre Dame's just pressing a little bit higher, but Stanford has the quality to still beat that pressure at times and become dangerous.
It took Notre Dame some time against Duke.
It did.
Duke was pretty dominant in that first half in a lot of ways until the Izzy Clanky goal. The Izzy Engle goal, excuse me. Morphing players. Win off the delivery. Looks like that should be a corner for Stanford, and it is. And we all know the importance of set pieces on a day like today.
I just talked about it on the flip side for Notre Dame, so it's a reward for what they've done in their pressing, but for Stanford, they can use this as something to get out of that pressure, and so the focus of the runs and the delivery important.
Driven in towards the near post, it's Notre Dame who got ahead on it. Ball comes back in. There's a first-time opportunity there after a header that went right back to Charlotte Kohler, who decided to take a stab at it. It went out for the goal kick. Joseph quickly gets besieged by Stanford defenders. Gets out of that beautifully with a pass back to her goalkeeper. That's excellent play.
And great recognition from Kasica just to go long in that moment as well and not continue to invite pressure.
Sammy Smith now. Elise Evans. Good defending there from Calzada again. She was all SEC the last 2 years. She came over from Texas A&M, grad student. Another cross thumped in. This is headed away. Now Stanford pushing back Notre Dame a bit here. Sammy Smith gets it wide. Another driven in cross, again repelled and swept out of there by Chukwu.
And this is a different look defensively from Notre Dame. Credit Stanford for establishing the possession.
Again, the cross comes in. And the header goes over the top. That was more dangerous than it looked to be initially. And the header there coming from the very, very busy Kitahata.
Well, Notre Dame's back in that 5-3-2 after this possession. Buddha loves the delivery to the back post, but Kitahata reads service so well. She separates 1 yard backwards, just takes a step back to be able to make contact.
Smith now.
So these are cues to step in these moments. This is where Chukwu stepping. So then when Chukwu steps, she has to keep her one way. Well done, though, out of the back from Lily Freer to get around that pressure.
Here's Freer. Wynn, Evans now. See a couple captain's armbands out there. The coach, Paul Ratcliffe, said, not something I normally do, but there's 4 captains on this team.
And you really have a full leadership group when you have that, which is great to be able to have. He said he has that more veteran team, and they understand, and they've been there, so he loves having that type of leadership in the collective.
Aikey. Oh, it's broken loose here on the right side for Stanford. Stanford in the box to make it one off the post and in. What a finish. And the Cardinal are up. The substitute, Montoya, has scored after some great work from Jasmine Aikey.
And this is really good in the far channel, just playing this ball in. Aikey gets around her player. It's a deflection. Allie Montoya goes straight to goal. No one comes across from the Fighting Irish. It's a clinical finish to the back post. It's exactly where she should be going. She keeps it low, puts her head down, finds that far post. It clanks off, goes in, and Stanford Cardinal have a lead.
And after some good extended play, they kind of flipped the script a little bit on Notre Dame, who had a lot of the territorial play. And it works out in a big way, and you really have to give Aikey at the center forward position a lot of credit for battling off that defender to keep that play alive.
Well, we saw this on Thursday, and we mentioned it earlier. The runs above the ball, they isolate Jasmine Aikey in a 1v1 situation at multiple times throughout a 90-minute game. When that happens, she's going to win that battle sometime when she draws so much attention. And if there's any type of mistake, there's so much space vacated for other players on the Stanford Cardinal team to be able to take it up.
Third annual Women's Basketball Allied to both is today, live from the Spectrum Center in Charlotte. Number 18 USC squaring off against 9th-ranked NC State. That's at 3 Eastern Time, noon Pacific on ESPN and the all-new ESPN app. There's so much going on in the ACC right now. Well, let's see how both teams respond to this first goal here in the ACC Women's Championship.
Well, my hope would be for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish is that they don't drop off too much. Easier said than done, but their pressing has worked. That was just in their final third. They've got to keep their distances a little bit tighter. There always needs to be covering space in there, covering players when there's someone central and isolated.
Stanford, when scoring first, are 15-0-1. Kitahata really has gotten a lot of the ball to the end line. Kitahata trying to square it back. And out for the goal kick.
There's definitely some confidence in Stanford now, and they were starting to find space before the goal happened, but they're definitely finding it now. Another isolation for Kitahata going right at Logan in this moment. Tries to square it across to Aikey. That's the covering shape of Abby Mills that you want to see, is making sure she comes over in those moments.
So star striker Annabelle Chukwu goes out. Ellie Hodgson will come on. Hodgson last year in a 3-0 victory for Notre Dame in the regular season against Stanford had one of the goals. But then they got into the NCAA tournament quarterfinals, and Stanford got the 2-0 win on goals from Harvey and Kitahata last year, and that was in the quarterfinals. In the box. Charlie Codd. That's a nice looking cross from Codd, and the header goes wide. Hodgson, who had just come on, has 6 goals and an assist on the year.
Well, it was great probing in the outside channel there from Calzada. That starts everything. That's what they're going to need to do. Continue to create those 2v1s. Then they can get better service that's more efficient in the box.
Brooke Holden has come on now. The freshman from Alpine, California. She has 6 goals. Stanford Cardinal have 8 players with 4 or more goals. So goals can come from a variety of areas. We just saw one from Allie Montoya. Quick throw from Stanford. Tonight on ESPN, the all-new ESPN app, don't miss it, the Baylor Bears hosting the Washington Huskies, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. Men's basketball is already shaping up in the ACC. Right here, it's a 29th minute goal from the substitute, Allie Montoya. That is the difference. Glenn Davis alongside Casey White in beautiful Cary, North Carolina at Wake Med Park. This is the ACC Women's Soccer Championship. Evans. Kitahata. Oh, it's a beautiful cross. Just can't tease it back out. And goes out for the goal kick for Notre Dame.
And what we're starting to see, and I think you expect this in a championship final, is that players are starting to feel more comfortable. So they're outplaying in the 1v1. They're looking to isolate. It's not just players in the attack, but also center backs looking to dribble. This time it's Kitahata that gets in. Now she's starting to show that attacking flair of getting in the wide channels. So as they start to figure out some of the pressing movements and different things of that nature, now they're starting to understand the spaces to take advantage of.
It's a big win, Charlie Codd. All-around midfielder, excellent for Notre Dame. Hodgson gets a cross in the box. Smith hasn't dealt with it. It's still Notre Dame. It's Roy now. Roy trying to create space and turn it back. Takes a deflection right into the grateful arms of Caroline Burkle.
And again, another moment to come off the pressing of now Hodgson, the first half substitute, coming into the game. I'd like to see Rory take on a little bit more in the 1v1. I think she can get in line all the way there. She has the ability to get around the corner and look to slot it back.
Commerce, Michigan is where Morgan Roy's from. Three goals and 8 assists for her. Smith to Burkle. And now Notre Dame looking to play out of their half of the field here. Calzada. Just trying to pick out the run there of Izzy Engle. Engle's been a little bit quiet here in the first half. I think both team strikers may be primary ones, Aikey as well.
They're a primary focus, and so making sure that they're taken care of is something that both of these teams come in and make sure that they are organized. You can see Elise Evans really reading service in behind, making sure that the space is not allowed to be penetrated through.
Offside flag up on Engle, who was behind the defense and came back. Now, we remember in the semifinals, Notre Dame was getting outplayed, and all of a sudden, Izzy Engle comes up with a goal.
Exactly. That she's a player that she is a proven goal scorer. So, and some of the best goal scorers, they don't need a lot of chances, but when they get their one chance, they're incredibly efficient, and she epitomizes that in so many ways. She also presses from the front, so she can create her own luck as well, just by her work rate and her industriousness.
Her 18 goals leads the ACC. The sub, Sammy Smith. Ball being circulated nicely here by Stanford. A lot of movement in front of it. Elise Evans now. She sees a good ball out wide here. Floating out of the middle is Shea Harvey. And that's going to earn Stanford a corner here. And this is very important to defend this if you're Notre Dame.
It certainly is as you get towards the end of the first half, and they did give up a late goal in the first half to Duke, and so they're going to want to be focused here in this moment. Make sure that they're touch tight in their marking.
Jaden Thomas comes on now for Stanford from Dallas, Texas, around your stomping grounds.
Parts.
Soccer area. Her father played soccer at Duke. Driven in, that's a really good looking ball. It's a good header. Second ball is going to be cleared. Hodgson trying to cut inside, get it forward. He's trying to pick out Tessa Knapp. Engle. Here is a #1 goal scorer in the ACC, lays it off to Hodgson, and she got cut down. It's going to be a free kick now for Notre Dame. Another yellow card comes out.
Well, that's a great moment there from Izzy Engle. It looked like she was going to go herself, but she understands that there's 3 recovering players. She draws Elise Evans in. Credit Hodgson for getting that last touch as Lily Freer gets a little bit aggressive, steps in just late in this moment. If this foul doesn't happen, most likely a return pass could be going to Engle with 2 players drawn out.
Yeah, big transition moment there for Notre Dame. Leads to a free kick now. Everybody on the 18. See what type of delivery Matriano provides here. Midfield anchor to take the set piece. Clips it in. Oh, there's a good runner there. It's squared back. You would have thought maybe she would have went to goal, Abby Mills, but decided to square it back.
Incredible ball in there by Matriano, the right texture and everything, a well-timed run from Abby Mills. I like that she played that across. If you're going to play that back ball to the back of the 6, you've got to have multiple runners, and it was singular in that moment.
Wow, what a chance for Notre Dame. And now driving it forward. Klenke. It's going to be a corner for Notre Dame here, so maybe an opportunity here as we begin to reach under 7 minutes.
Matriano plays this in. Abby Mills is all alone and certainly had an angle to go to goal, and she connected well. But I like that she goes across. It's just unfortunate for Notre Dame as they come through.
Yeah, nobody was getting inside the 6-yard box.
Normally you have players peeling out if you know you're going to go to a target back post.
Irish off the corner. To the back post it goes. Headed back towards the 18. Charlie Codd can't control it. Tough ball to bring down, and it's Stanford now. Smith. Stanford Cardinal with a 1-0 lead over the Irish of Notre Dame. The composure of Evans at the back, so key for Stanford.
And it's the composure on the ball, but also the recognition of space from where players should move. As soon as the Fighting Irish take up a certain position, the Stanford Cardinal player is getting a different space. It just allows them to create the overloads and get out.
Mills. Logan. Alzada now. Leah Klenke. Twisting, turning, knocks it central. It's read by Stanford, but a great job from Charlie Codd to make a bad ball a good one.
And it's important there because Charlotte Kohler is explosive. If she wins the ball, she's going the opposite direction very quickly. A good battle to watch there in midfield.
Yeah, the semis on Thursday, I thought there were 2 of her out there. Okay, deep throw in here. Now Notre Dame will try to pin Stanford in here off the throw. There's a good look at Charlie Codd from Waco, Texas. And that beautiful pass to Izzy Engle in the semis. Roy. Important intervention there from Shea Harvey. Get a foot on that. It's going to be a free kick, Notre Dame. Under 5 minutes left here in the first half in Cary, North Carolina. Today we crown a champion. And the winner today will go into the NCAA tournament as the ACC conference champions. These two teams, regardless, would make the 64-team field, which on Monday will be the United Soccer coaches unveiling the 64 teams that will be in the NCAA tournament. It's that time of the year. Smith joining in. Quickly tries to make it a 2 against 1 down here. Draws a second defender, splits them both. Smith into the box, squares it back. It's a hit from Holden. And Holden knocks a header right into the arms of Kasica.
And while I've talked so much about movement, and the movement was good from Montoya, it's really Sammy Smith making the decision to go right between the defenders. No one picks up of who's actually defending her. That can happen when there's two so close. Another good opportunity for Stanford.
Under 4 minutes. Matriano. Going to go direct towards Engle. She's found her in the channel here. Here's Engle now trying to work her magic. She's drawn 2 or 3 defenders. Helps it on. It's still Notre Dame. And you would think in that situation, you got to get a shot off somehow.
I think it's a little too unselfish from Izzy Engle in that moment. I like that she looks to facilitate play, but I'd love to see her strike it from distance. Tess Burkle.
Oh, now Notre Dame with much of the territorial play and the ball, and as I say that, out for a throw-in for Stanford.
It's a good service over the top in this moment, and Engle gets on it. She does beat the first defender, and Freer right here is where I think she can release it. As soon as she gets around Buddha, decides to cut it off. It may be blocked in that moment, but what you do is that you tell defenders, I'm going to go for goal. So then maybe the next time they step in, you're able to go around them.
Smith now getting pressure from Roy. It's a direct ball trying to come across is Brooke Holden, and it'll be a throw-in for Stanford.
And they aren't able to intercept the Fighting Irish there, but what it does is it forces Stanford to play a bit more direct sooner than they would like to. I think what we saw on Thursday in the first half was that Virginia sat back a little bit more, and Stanford is just so comfortable running in possession through the middle third. So I like that Notre Dame's trying that, but Stanford's still showing their quality to be able to gain territory.
Into the first half, we'll speak to Stanford head coach Paul Ratcliffe. Ball comes into the back post, and really good handling there, looking into the sun by Sonoma Kasica. And at halftime, Jim Phillips, the ACC commissioner, will join Casey and I. Under a minute left here, over the top it goes. Trying to get there, and getting there first is Hodson. So a couple of direct balls here have caused a little bit of danger. Claire Logan's going to go with a long ball here. It's a big diagonal. It's headed straight down. Comes back to Logan again. She's going to get a throw in here. First half is going to come to an end here. This is only the second time that Notre Dame this year has trailed at the half. Casey, put a bow on it.
Well, I think that Notre
in the ACC Women's Championship. Great visit at halftime with Jim Phillips, the ACC commissioner. Loved his energy.
Definitely. It's always nice having that.
Elise Evans, she's going to leave it. Sammy Smith remains on. Evans now the ACC Defender of the Year.
And the other thing we're seeing is that Kitahata has now come back to the right wing and Eleanor Klinger off the left wing. That's what we saw on Thursday night versus UVA.
Oh, driving that out and down. This is a nervy moment here. Izzy Engle just went down. Got hit in the head.
And they're doing the right thing here, just making sure that she does get tended to. You don't want to take any chances with anything. It looked like she did get hit in the head with that ball from close range from Elise Evans looking to play out. So they'll take a look at her. Take a look at it here. It's just very close range. She turns her head there and is able to block it, but she'll come out, get them to take a look at her before re-entering.
What part will she play in the second half? She's only a sophomore from Medina, Minnesota. 18 goals, 6 assists. Now, that's another thing we forget. All these great strikers, we're talking about their goals, but many of them have 6 and 7 assists on the year. They can provide as well.
That's what makes them so dangerous, and she epitomizes that. And I would add another layer to it is her defending as well. And if you can get all 3 of those out of a number 9, you're incredibly lucky. And then most of these teams have 2 or 3 players that can do that. They do the defensive work, they are their role of facilitator, but then they can also be goal dangerous themselves.
Stanford goes back to Caroline Burkle. And as much as you've said the pressure has been good at times by Notre Dame, it really hasn't led to a lot of chance creation. And we'll get back to that in a second. Kitahata's shot is blocked. They quickly close her down. Still Stanford. Oh, Aikey, what a goal! She's done it again. Jasmine Aikey produced a stunner in the semifinals, produces a stunner right at the beginning of the second half here in Cary. It is 2-0 Stanford.
Well, Notre Dame is stunned, and I understand why they are. An unreal contact on this strike from Jasmine Aikey. Kohler's on the ball. She gets it. She takes that prep touch, the second touch as well. Aikey doesn't need much space. She gets about a half yard here, hardly is able to step into it. And look at the power she generates. Not only the power to beat Kasika, but the bend and the precision on the ball to be able to bend this up and over. The technical execution is elite.
2-0 Stanford, and she is scoring goals that are eye-popping. And the interesting thing is she really didn't have a lot of good look at goal in the first half. And once the second half starts, well, the mark of a great striker produces a stunning goal.
I think that's a great point by you, Glenn, is that the best strikers, they don't need many opportunities. They may draw you in and all of that, but they just need that 1 or 2 opportunities, and then they're able to deliver, especially in a game like this.
Next goal needs to come from Notre Dame. Here's Charlie Codd now. Codd has played it inside. Tessa Knapp. Tessa Knapp is going to try it. That's a good hit. Forces a focus save from Burkle, but why not?
This is good, though. Codd recognizes the space for Knapp. Knapp takes it forward. She most likely could have gone another yard or 2. She makes some good contact. It really doesn't make Burkle make too much of a save in that moment, but it's better from the Irish. They'll see if they can take advantage of that shape in front.
Buddha, her ball's overhit there. Mia Buddha, 4th-team All-American in 2024. I've loved the times when Buddha has run it forward and committed players from Notre Dame.
She was essential in the first half. She was essential in that half because they weren't able to get out, and finally she just started taking on her player in the 1v1, and that opened up space.
Full-blooded tackle there from Charlie Codd of Notre Dame. But there's no question, Casey, they're going to need the game's next goal.
100%, and that's the last foul we just saw. They are pushing forward. Codd's playing in a double pivot role and holding mid, taking up a more advanced position, defending, moving forward. And this is the defending forward. Codd commits completely. Wind goes down in that moment. There's contact after.
A little bit of confusion here. They're going to turn this over. Referee Nicole Green
Well, it's either a foul or it's Stanford ball, so they do get this right if the foul's not going to be called, and that's why you're seeing Nate Norman and Paul Ratcliffe both not understand what was going on there, but the refereeing crew gets it right.
Again, Stanford in the black, Notre Dame in the white. Notre Dame has not been down a pair of goals all year long, except FSU.
And in that one, they did come back and win that game as well, 4-2. And so that is definitely something that's probably in the back of Stanford's mind as well, as it can be still a dangerous score, and they've shown that they can come back from that deficit in the only game that it happened.
Irish need their two strikers to come to life, Izzy Engle and Annabelle Chukwu. Look at that, 4 players around Chukwu. Todd comes to take the throw in here. Seems to be setting up for a longer throw. And hoists it into the box. And the long throwing used to be kind of refrained, you know, people didn't like the long throw. It means you don't like, but now it's such an essential part of the game at all levels.
It's ultimately a set piece, and if you have that in your repertoire, why not use it? It puts players and teams on the defensive. You're able to gain some territory and be incredibly dangerous to make runs off of it.
Claire Logan now. Smith got dispossessed by Roy. And you got a free kick here for Stanford. What's impressive to me is the amount of players under pressure with the ball that can get out of pressure on their own.
The comfortability on the ball for the ball carrier across the field is at such a high level. And in a game like this where the margins are so incredibly small, there is the onus on you as the player with the ball to outplay your opponent right there directly in front of you. If you do, then you know you're going to draw their defenders out to open up space in those moments. And so that really has been the separator in some of these times for Stanford as they figured out the goals, because Notre Dame's stepping high, they're doing well, but still individual efforts reign.
Long ball forward here. Aikey got ahead on it. Just producing a spectacular goal here in the second half. And the nature of it coming so early, also a bit of a body blow to Notre Dame.
Well, what's hard about that is you talk all of what you need to go over at halftime, and then it happens so quickly that now you have to really trust your players to be adaptable and not let them get rattled too much. And so settling down will be important.
Free kick Irish.
And Glenn, I don't necessarily think we'll see it early on, but as the half goes on, if the score stays the same, I would expect Charlie Codd to get a little bit higher and make Wynn have to deal with 2 10s, just take a little bit more risk in that middle third, keep Chukwu high, keep Engle high on the 2 center backs. We aren't seeing it quite yet. They're staying with their system, which I understand, but I think as we go, we could see it.
Touch not the one we normally see from Izzy Engle. Stanford's going to fight to win it back. And they're going to get a free kick here. They're not going to be in any hurry to take these with a 2-0 lead here in the second half. Is that the way back, Morgan Roy?
Well, whether it's Morgan Roy or it's Leah Klinke, I do think the wide spaces are important. That's when Notre Dame looked at their best. And you made a comment earlier when they were defending. They're putting Stanford under pressure, but it's not necessarily turning into legitimate chances. And that's because the center backs of Stanford are staying home and defending well.
There's the play into Engle. Tried a bit of a blind ball there. Aikey. It's amazing about Jasmine Aikey. Against Virginia, they were up 3-0. It became 3-2. She played 3 different positions in that game. Striker, midfield, and then was dropped back into the center back position by Paul Ratcliffe, the head coach of Stanford.
She went wherever Stanford needed her. That is definitely what happened in that game. And like you mentioned, just kept going further and further back to provide more of a defensive presence.
So a quick look there at Annabelle Chukwu. Thing is, if Notre Dame produces a goal here, there's still plenty of time.
Oh, 100%. And they're committing numbers forward. And the way you can tell that is Eleanor Klinger and Kitahata are back defending in the wide spaces.
Flicked on by Engle.
There's just a bit of impatience with that ball. When you go down 2 goals, you see them wanting to go quick, but they need to be smart in their service.
Here's Roy. Tries an early ball. Side-footed out of there by Evans. Right now, Notre Dame has got the ball. Now they've got to figure out how to create real chances here in the second half, because it is an ironclad back line right now. Free kick might be the way.
Well, the reason this is called is because of the body positioning of Chukwu. There's not a whole lot in it, but because of the body positioning, Kitahata's called.
They take the quick free kick. Very wise move there. Ball wake across the face of goal, off the post, still loose. Shot over the top. Wise, quick free kick from Lainey Matriano. And nearly pulling one back is Notre Dame.
I love that, Glenn, from Matriano playing quickly. As Kitahata is arguing on the foul, she goes, and Klinke gets this across, and it goes off the post. Izzy Engle's almost right there. Second chance opportunity. But this is a big moment for Notre Dame, and Stanford gets incredibly lucky.
Burkle off the goal kick. Sometimes a ball off the post is just the type of thing to get you going, get you believing. Notre Dame seems awake in here.
They certainly do. And that was a moment where Klinke went more in line, and she draws one of those center backs out. That's why there's space created. That's the efficiency they need.
Oh, it's a nice looking ball. It's a bit of a tester. It's going to skip past the far post and out for the goal kick. Izzy Engle involved.
Great ball here by Calzada. Izzy Engle's getting between the left back, Sammy Smith, and Elise Evans. If that's on frame, that might be going in. So just a little bit of a yard off in that service, but well done by Izzy Engle.
Today, 3 p.m. Eastern on ABC, NWSL quarterfinal action. The Portland Thorns, San Diego Wave live from Providence Park in Portland, Oregon. Big day for women's soccer, both at the professional level and the collegiate level. And right here in the ACC. So there is a similarity going on here from the semifinal with Virginia, where maybe Stanford took their foot off the pedal a little bit. They got a more engaged opponent. I don't know where it lies, but it does seem very similar a little bit to Thursday.
Well, it's incredibly nuanced. It's a hard one because there's so many intangibles that happen in those moments.
Chukwu. It was a tremendous amount of energy in that first half put into that game by Stanford. They walked out at halftime against UVA with a 3-0 lead.
Well, I think you highlighted it earlier as well. They give up the goal to Aikey early on. They have to almost bounce back from that. It was a little bit slower for Notre Dame. Then they hit the post, but that's an intangible and a mentality piece to that. It almost kicked them into that next gear, and now we're starting to see that more from Notre Dame. But there's a tactical element too. I think they're recognizing outside channels to take advantage of while still showing more hunger.
Nice little move there from Lily Freer. Tessa Knapp, Matriano, and Stanford with a big win in midfield here now. What can they produce? So is Andrea Kitahata. Driven ball goes towards the back post. Not the best of clearances, though. Aikey tried to put in Kitahata. Out for the goal kick. This is the first time these teams have met this year. They met twice last year. Regular season in South Bend, Notre Dame 3-0 over Stanford. Engle, Klinke, and Hodgson with the goals. Sophie Murdoch of Stanford got sent off. And then in the NCAA tournament, Stanford flipped it and got a 2-0 win over Notre Dame. In the more important of the two games, Shea Harvey and Kitahata with the goals.
Well, and so much of it, since they haven't seen each other this year, is the confidence in their own buy-in and how they play, but also the adaptability in game.
Long run here from Klenke. Boy, she has done a lot of running here today, as have others. Klenke is going to earn a corner.
I love what we're seeing from Klenke. You pointed it out. We didn't see her as often high up the field on Thursday against Duke, but today, first half and in this second half, she has really provided an attacking spark, looking to go in the 1v1 against Buddha, goes in this area, sees that there's not a numerical advantage, just tries to earn a corner kick and does a great job with it.
Here's what it looks like if you're the goalkeeper, Caroline Burkle. It is stacked inside that 6-yard box. Goes over everybody. This will be a throw-in for Stanford, and Notre Dame will want to keep them here. Nate Norman looks on. Norman, a college player at Notre Dame, has been an assistant for the men's team as well. But he's really had sustained success here now for a number of years.
Oh, he certainly has, and there's no mistake about it. He's continued to grow the program and carry on the tradition that Notre Dame has always had. And you can just see in the way they play, there's so much buy-in in their system of play. And I think today they really tried to disrupt Stanford, and they've done a great job. You just have to credit those individual moments for Stanford Cardinal getting the goals.
Presses on. Bent up the line. Charlotte Kohler tackled away by Charlie Codd. Here's the RPI, Notre Dame and Stanford with big numbers here. I mean, obviously these two are going to the NCAA tournament, but this is really about, I think, winning a trophy here, winning this championship in what most people say is the most competitive women's conference in the country. Off the cross to the far post. Stanford's got players there, including Klinger. Smith came out of there. Still Stanford now. Their time to own the ball a bit here. Took a deflection, and going to ground is Sonoma Cassica.
Well, you mentioned about the ACC and just all the preparation that the regular season plus the tournament gives to these programs going into the NCAAs. But you're right, today it's about winning a championship, and they're so focused on that. We can think bigger picture, but they're certainly trying to figure out how do they finish off this game.
Division I bracket reveal. The selection show is Monday, November 10th. That'll be tomorrow, 4 Eastern time. So you're going to get a look at who get the at-large bids. You're going to have all the conference champions represented. And it always comes down to strength of schedule, RPI, head-to-head, all these things. And obviously there are going to be people who are euphoric when they get the results, and there's going to be a lot of heartbroken teams as well.
It can be a great day and it can be a tough day, you're right. I'd be really surprised if we don't see maybe 10 teams from the ACC in the NCAA tournament. We've seen a lot of teams, 9 last year, as our commissioner pointed out, but there is a case that 10 could get in from this conference this year.
Notre Dame making changes here. Ellie Hodgson getting set to come back on, and also Riley DiMartino. That as we get closer to 25th minute, 20th minute, you're going to have to take, as you mentioned, a little bit more risk.
100%, and I think we'll see that just with higher starting positions. We've already seen Morgan Roy and Klenke do that from minute 1 of this game, but I think the shape in the midfield could change.
A step over. Oh, there's a chance maybe at the back post. No, it's going to trickle over the end line. It was a hit from Engle, and Tessa Knapp was cruising in over there. Goes out for the goal kick. So how about Izzy Engle's day today? Hasn't been easy against a great backline. And by the way, these are two of the best defending teams in the country, too. We have to remind people.
They are. I like what Izzy Engle has done, and although she hasn't been involved in the run of play very much, it's been because that's not the area to really play make through in the Central Channel. It's 2v2 right there. She's about distracting the center backs and creating space for other players, and then looking to come up in big moments inside the penalty area should those crosses get there. And that's where she has to operate and remind herself that those are the moments for her to be involved.
Here's Kohler now. She had a very good game against Virginia in the semifinals. She's been a little quieter today, maybe in attack.
Well, so much of it is the disruption in possession that we saw in that first half. The reason she was on the ball so much, her and Kitsahato, is because the outside backs had so much time and space in that semifinal.
Over the top, offside flag was up anyway on the second half goal scorer, Jasmine Aikey. The thing about her finishing, if you look at the simple stats, is that she puts a lot of her finishes on goal.
And she just increases the percentage chance that she's going to score when you hit the target. And a lot of players don't do that because they're looking for the perfect shot, but you're really just trying to make sure that you can force a goalkeeper to make a save.
Big diagonal. This is Roy. He's going to hit an early cross to the near post. It was a decent idea. Engle has won it back. Knapp off the turn and fires a shot in. What a great turn and what a great effort and great idea.
Good unpredictability from Morgan Roy to play the early ball. So often Stanford has been able to retreat and get numbers in the penalty area to defend, but this one actually causes an isolation, and Engle's able to take on. She's able to face forward, distract, and Tessa Knapp does a great job dealing with that ball behind her to get the strike.
Turned in a flash. Klinger goes down hard. It'll be a free kick. Eleanor Klinger's a sophomore from Cleveland, Ohio. Has been throughout the U.S. youth system on the national teams at U17 level, U18, U19. So much like a lot of the players out here today, tremendous experiences with U.S. youth national teams. Notre Dame seeking out the game's next goal. It's a bigger ball. Knapp is in there. She's got additional pressure. It's one back. Corner. And a much needed one here for Notre Dame. Riley DiMartino.
Well, when Stanford's in a higher position, they're able to get higher up the field. Now Notre Dame's playing quicker. It allows numbers forward. DiMartino gets on the ball, tries to get it across. Well cut out there in that moment.
So Morgan Roy to take it. Everybody's stacked inside the box here. That's a good looking ball. This is Knapp who's going to leg it down for Notre Dame. And Hodgson's effort is going to go over the top. You could hear Paul Ratcliffe from his bench pretty audibly there.
The organization is going to be important defensively from the back unit of Stanford, as well as the goalkeeping. Look at the numbers around Caroline Burkle. It's confident punch in that moment. They're just trying to whip a ball in. You never know what can deflect. So in those moments, you need your goalkeeper to come up big and really get a hand on it.
Third annual women's basketball Allie tip-off today. Spectrum Center in Charlotte, number 18 USC. As off her line goes Burkle. Squares off against ninth-ranked NC State. That's 3 Eastern, and then noon Pacific. It's on ESPN and the all-new ESPN app. Here comes Stanford. Here comes Klinger, and tackled away there by Notre Dame. Throw in Stanford here. Coming out of the middle there was Abby Mills. So Kitahata on for Klinger. Kitahata has been really busy today challenging people.
She certainly has, and you're taking off a U.S. Youth National Team player, putting on a U.S. Youth National Team player. To your point, it's unbelievable the players that Stanford does have in this game and the options that they can go to.
Yeah, they call that a champagne problem.
Exactly.
Goes back to the thrower. We'll get the cross in. This is a tester coming out to punch it away is Kasika. Nice header just laid down to the feet of Charlie Codd. Codd can't get that ball out wide. That was the place to go. And over the top, it's Engle in a foot race here. Can she get beyond the Stanford defenders? It's still Engle. She gets tripped. She gets a shot off and scores. It's 2-1. Notre Dame is back in it. It took 1 minute and 1 moment. And Izzy Engle has made it 2-1 here. This is far from over.
Well, we talked about it. Izzy Engle, she can show up in big moments. She doesn't need a lot. It takes 3 players to try to stop her, and they still don't. This last-ditch effort by Freer, then Burkle comes out. She has the wherewithal to lift that ball over the onrushing Burkle. But just look how strong Izzy Engle is to be able to thwart off this tackle. She keeps her feet. A lot of players you'll see go down in that moment, but she knows she can get there. She's drawn out Burkle, and now we got a game.
Unbelievable moment for the #1 goal scorer in the ACC. We drum rolled her and said, look, Engle, Chukwu, they got to bring this team back in this game. And Izzy Engle has done it. It is now 2-1. Incredible balance to stay on her feet.
I don't think it can be overstated how hard that is to be able to be running at full speed, be able to fend off defenders and still have the technique to be able to finish. She shows everything in her repertoire in that moment, but it also has to be given credit to Allie Hodgson for that first-time ball in. If she doesn't play that first time, the 3 center backs are going to be dropping a yard or 2 quicker, and Engle may not get on it.
This game continues to tell its own story here today. If you're just tuning in, this is the Allie ACC Women's Soccer Championship today. We crown a champion. Chukwu trying to get there. Codd, who was just bringing some life and energy off her line. Yeah, that was a nervy moment because off her line came Caroline Burkle.
Well, this is the goal right here. So it's that first-time ball from Hodgson. She gets in, so that way Engle can play along the line. She's not able to take the touch, and then Engle just so incredibly strong. Wonderful left-footed finish.
Goal number 19 for Izzy Engle.
Well, this is where it really gets interesting as well, because we talked about taking more risks for Notre Dame at a 2-0 deficit. Now it's 2-1. When you have a player like Izzy Engle, you have Chukwu up top, do you settle in a little bit and hope for one of those moments like that of magic, or do you continue to push numbers forward? I think we might still see the same approach they've had for a little longer now because they have cut the lead. Then the last 10 maybe start to get a little higher.
And Stanford recover here. Will come into the box. That was dangerously sliding along the crossbar. Here's Evans now for Stanford. Stanford hasn't had a shot in 23 minutes here.
I think one of the things that's impressive about Stanford, though, is we've seen a lot of different teams throw different types of defending at them, and they just kind of figure it out. And that not only speaks to the individual players, but the collective of how they move and how they're able to adapt. Because still, with all of this pressure, they still have this 2-1 lead and have been playing well.
Taking the corner kick of the Cardinal, number 8, Mia Buddha.
So Buddha to take the corner. In it comes. Goal kick. Went out and came in. I guess who's coming right back in the game? Izzy Engle now. Your goal scorer for the Irish.
And the match of the Fighting Irish, number 3, Izzy Engle. Replacing number 10, Allie.
She had 19 goals last year. She's tied that here today.
It's unbelievable what she's been able to do this season. And just to remind everyone that she's also only a sophomore, that's incredible to me. Just the confidence and the poise that she plays with in front of goal.
Here's Engle now. They quickly get it to her. She's feeling it. Engle now. Izzy Engle into the box. 2 defenders on her. Still Engle. Still Engle. Oh, tried to pick out the upper corner. Goes over the top.
The tight defending of Elise Evans makes Engle have to snap this really quick, and that's why she's leaning back just a little bit. But incredible vertical running, getting more advanced positions, shows the ability to and the composure just to be able to take on, look for the right angle. Right there, Elise Evans covers it quite well. She has to lift it, but we see on display what Izzy Engle can do when she gets in the final third.
Just twisting and turning, made space for herself, got that shot off. Notre Dame all of a sudden getting a lot of the ball here and with a lot more time on it as well. They continue forward here, and that'll end up being a goal kick. ACC Fall Championships are going to continue Thursday, and you're not going to want to miss the men's soccer semifinals, 5:30 and 8 Eastern. Both matches on ACC Network, and you can also get it on the all-new ESPN app. Just so much going on in the ACC right now. And you know, we talked to Commissioner Jim Phillips of the ACC. I love the fact that it's only a six-team tournament. I just think it just brings tremendous consequence. The final games of the regular season become enormous.
It's a feat to get into the ACC tournament, and when you put it on that, it just makes it so much harder, and it just means that much more, I think. So I agree with you. I think incredibly hard when you're only having 6 spots here at the end of the year.
So you got to think these 6 are all getting in, and could be another 4 from the
Exactly.
ACC. Incredible. Ball towards the back post, headed away by Evans. Just such a sophisticated defender for Stanford. Codd will play it wide. Again, 2-1 Stanford. Got an early goal in the second half from Jasmine Aikey. Engle responded to make it 2-1. It's a corner now for Notre Dame.
And this will be a different type of service. They're not crowding Burkle quite as much. It's not the in-swinging ball we've become accustomed to seeing on the other side from Morgan Roy. This will now be about tracking runners.
Matriano to take the corner, which he's done throughout the day. Drives it in. Is there a glancing header? Is there a finish? It's for the upper corner. It's 2-2. The comeback is not complete, but they have tied it up. Notre Dame has produced again here.
Well, Charlie Codd comes up incredibly pivotal in this moment. It's a great ball. It's hit on a rope. It's deflected out off Chukwu's head. But the organization at the back post is exactly what Codd is supposed to do. Make sure nothing bounces through. But she says, I'm going to do a little more than that. I'm going to get a strike on this right into the side netting to equal things up here in the second.
Totally have wrestled now the momentum away from Stanford.
Oh, look at that technique. Right as it hits the ground, Glenn. Great technique from Codd.
It's fitting because she's not the biggest of goal scorers. Hits a half volley here, kind of slices it, hits the side netting. It's only a second goal on the year for her, but none bigger. Great all-around midfielder for Notre Dame. So a good traveling contingent of Irish fans now. Notre Dame fans are now starting to make some noise here. They were pretty quiet for some time, but now to watch this comeback here. Under 16 minutes left.
Well, Glenn, we talked about efficiency. Both of these teams have been incredibly efficient in the final third, because I've been happy as a fan, as an observer of these ACC opponents, of how they've played between the boxes. They've made it incredibly hard to settle in. Notre Dame's found the wide area. Stanford has figured out some possession moments, but they've just come up big in and around the 18s in the moments that have been part of what their attack has been about it.
Well, we asked Paul Ratcliffe, the head coach of Stanford, what's it take in a final? And his word was hunger, determination. That could be the difference. Well, you're going to have hunger and determination the next 15 minutes, that's for sure. Aikey's going to get called for the foul. It'll be a free kick here.
Well, and credit Nate Norman for bringing DiMartino into the game. Klinke went back to that left center back, but it's just an attacking type of substitution to have both her and DiMartino off the left side. So took some risks there. It could have given up something defensively, but there's more numbers higher up the field for Notre Dame, and it pays off.
Tessa Knapp tried to switch the play. Caught to the feet of Chukwu. She's only a sophomore. She'll knock it back to Matriano now. It's 2-2. Notre Dame with an exceptional comeback here in the second half after being down 2-0 to Stanford. Evans with the header. Slaloming through midfield there is Buddha. It's going to come here. Big tackle, Matriano. Chukwu gets dumped here. It's going to be a free kick. I liked how you pointed out on the corner, the difference in the setup and the different type of corner that was being run, in that case by Notre Dame, which had a player drifting off at the back post, and it just gratuitously came to her.
It's all about the service, too. Not only the organization, but for the in-swinging, having players around, but the service has to be right on top of the goalkeeper, and then Matriano hits that one perfectly well. Great trajectory, but the organization underneath by Codd was essential.
Here's Codd again. Codd's going to try it from long range. That's a hit. That's a tester. And getting her hands to it is goalkeeper Caroline Burkle. But there is a renewed confidence in the Irish.
Give Burkle credit on this, because Charlie Codd hits this like she's scored over 10 goals this year. She just looks, has the space, and goes for goals, so certainly feeling it. But it's hard to deal with. It might have been going wide, but it goes down. Burkle has to parry it to make sure.
Roy to take the corner. Now they mix it up again. This time they stack them inside the 6-yard box. Tons of bodies in there. It goes to the back post. Headed away by Stanford. Second phase of defending this. Evans heads it away. And Knapp has won it back for Notre Dame. Goes right back into the box to the far post. Roy is here. She's going to recirculate it in the box. Side-footed away. Still has not been cleared by Stanford. Knapp chops it, gets space, drives it into the box. Engle was in there. Codd. And extended possession here for Notre Dame. They drive it in again. Here's Knapp. Knapp off the turn, shot is blocked. And quickly Stanford was trying to hit Jasmine Aikey in transition.
And this is where Stanford needs to step their lines a little bit. They're doing really well to stay nice and compact defensively as they weather this storm after the Charlie Codd goal. So something they're going to have to do is just step a little bit higher up the field. I'd like to see, when they do win possession, find Wynn, find Harvey on the ball, just to settle things down.
Aikey. Big switch, drops it over a Stanford defender. There's a first-time ball. I've noticed Notre Dame may be hitting a few earlier balls here and earlier crosses.
Well, and the reason they're doing that is because Stanford's done so well to get bodies and numbers in the box. So if they take too long with their speed of play, Notre Dame, it becomes much easier to defend.
DiMartino. We'll get a cross in. Chukwu's in there. She tried to shield off a defender. It's cleared by Stanford.
You get the feeling that Notre Dame wants to use this momentum to really go forward and just try to create things. And as Jasmine Aikey does go down in this moment, just kind of taking the air out of the game a little bit. Hopefully she'll be okay. But this will allow Stanford to relax here for a second and try to slow things down.
Both teams will come over to their benches here. This stoppage could potentially take a little momentum away from what Notre Dame is doing right now and give Stanford a bit of a breather.
Definitely, and that's something that most likely Nate Norman's going to be addressing is keep this going. Here's some more spaces. Here's what I'm liking. Keep the momentum. Where on the flip side for Stanford, Paul Ratcliffe will use the experience of his team to be able to organize things and give them maybe some things to think about of how they can take over these last 10 minutes.
Well, let's take a look at goals because we've seen 4 good ones here today.
We certainly have. The first one came off Allie Montoya. Jasmine Aikey was able to battle in that area, tons of space to take advantage of behind the back line. Allie Montoya starts everything off in the 29th minute with the back post finish. Then coming out of halftime, Jasmine Aikey with the left foot has a yard of space, makes it 2-0. Izzy Engle says, we're not done yet. I'm staying in this. I'm going to get this goal. It cuts it to 2-1. And then this is the last one we saw just a few minutes ago. Charlie Codd on the half volley finds the back post.
3 goals here in the second half. Charlie Codd only her second of the year, but it is a big one. Izzy Engle producing the first. Here's what we have to remember here today. Both teams seeking their first ACC championship, and Notre Dame has come back in the 69th and 75th. No shots in over 30 minutes for Stanford, which is pretty hard to believe.
One of the things Paul Ratcliffe talked about was in the game on Thursday when it was 3-0, trying to go for the 4th goal instead of managing today. They couldn't find that 3rd goal, but I think that's more about giving credit to Notre Dame for just pushing forward, not necessarily a knock on Stanford by any means.
Off the cross here, it's more delivery, headed away by Evans. DiMartino, Chukwu, who's just been smothered today by Stanford defenders.
Great back pressing there from Wynn. That's really nice from her as the holding midfielder, stepping up and helping against Chukwu in that moment.
Big tackle there from Calzada. And Paul Ratcliffe's not going to like this one after that first tackle. It's a free kick, Notre Dame. DiMartino quickly slashes inside. Nice looking ball towards Engle. She did a great job to create a little space for herself out wide here.
She's done a really good job because there's covering players. She looks to play a bit more inverted and looking for those balls to the back post area. It's a big ask for Morgan Roy to get there, so perhaps Engle can spin out and have a little bit further distance to cover and a better angle to approach.
Under 10 minutes left in this. Again, we crown a champion today. Chukwu, Engle. Evans has got to deal with this looking into the sun and does a wonderful job there with Izzy Engle right there.
Great recognition by Chukwu to try to find that space behind, but Evans just shows the composure while she's the Defensive Player of the Year in the ACC.
And let's not forget, Stanford won the regular season, #1 in the ACC, and today if they win the tournament, it's a double for them. Codd off the long throw, it's flicked on, it's Engle now, she nods it down. Roy, still Roy, trying to get on her left foot, still loose. And away from there comes Stanford now. Boy, they are struggling to get out here. Complete control of this game right now for Notre Dame. Off the turn, shot will go off the mark and out for the goal kick. Trying to get turned there was Tessa Knapp.
Well, and what they're doing is they're committing numbers forward in the counter-pressing moment. That's when Notre Dame's at their best. But what we're seeing is Wama had come into the game. She's going into more of a two-front just to put the back line under pressure. I think Paul Ratcliffe might be seeing that they're only leaving two back, Notre Dame, to commit those numbers to press. So there could be a counter-attacking transition moment on for Stanford if they can look to play long.
Caroline Burkle off the goal kick. Evans, Engle over the top. Good patient defending from Elise Evans. Is there anything to the consistent nature of second halves today between the semis and now from Stanford?
I don't know necessarily, because I think Stanford has just gotten pinned back, and that's something just from the pressure of Notre Dame that they've done. I think it feels like a different type of game in some ways, but when you do take a lead like that, you ignite something in your opponent, and not much separates these teams. And so I don't think Stanford has necessarily taken their foot off the gas. It's more about the nature of the game and what we saw from the first half into the second half.
Chukwu. Again, it comes into the box towards Engle. Was overhit. Caroline Burkle has been pretty busy here. And these are two goalkeepers that throughout the year are protected beautifully by their teams.
They certainly are, and you just want to create half chances. You don't want full chances against your goalkeepers, but if it's just a small chance, you give them the ability to potentially make the save.
That in itself can be a difficult thing because you've got to keep yourself mentally alert.
100%.
Klenke. Abby Mills. And there's the ever-present Lainey Matriano providing the outlet for her center backs. Engle got it wide. Engle gets into the box. Roy. Shot took a deflection. They don't get the corner. Under 6 minutes left here in Cary, North Carolina. The ACC Women's Soccer Championship. Stanford and Notre Dame tied at 2. Glenn Davis alongside Casey White. This has been an outstanding tournament. Thrilling games on Thursday, and now an equally thrilling final. Stanford pick up a second ball here. They're driving it forward here. Kitahatas tries to scoop it in there.
Great recovery from the defensive unit of Notre Dame, because Kitahata going 1v1 is something that scares any back line, especially when you're right around the penalty box. There's some good defending in that moment. But now this is an opportunity for Stanford to be able to set some possession, which they haven't seen in quite a long time. Stretch the field, use the width, and make Notre Dame chase.
Buda knocks one into the channel. There's 3 players in there, but Mills gets there first for Notre Dame. Codd has laid in a ball here trying to pick out Engle. Izzy Engle started the comeback. 19 goals. 6 assists. Under 5 minutes left. Charlie Codd here running it forward now, committing a defender. Gets it wide. Burkle's come off her line. Ball just wasn't played with the right angle there.
Okada's so slippery in midfield. She gets around pressure so incredibly well. And you're just starting to see towards the end of the game that little bit of technical execution lacking. They're not the right angle into Roy's run, but doing a great job to intercept balls in midfield, show her mobility and her ability to be able to facilitate.
The American Conference match between Rice and UTSA is starting on ESPN News as they will play it out for a spot in the NCAA tournament. That's their conference final. Goal kick here. Under 4 minutes left.
I think both of these teams will look to commit numbers forward and go for it, but when you're in the back defensively, just nothing silly, get the ball out these last few minutes, try to get it into your attacking half as quickly as possible.
This remains tied. We go to 2 10-minute overtime periods. Golden goal in effect. Aikey, what a save! Getting up to come up big is Kasika.
Well, we've already seen that Aikey can do it with her left foot. Now we see her unleash a shot with her right foot. She doesn't worry about having much space. She gets that prep touch perfectly right. Lots of traffic in front, so credit Kasika in that moment. What a wonderful save to put this over the top.
Buddha to take the corner. This is an important piece in this one. Could somebody score a goal here for Stanford? Movement in the box, and it comes. Picked off, good safe hands there from Sonoma Kasika. Quick outlet here. Driving it forward is DiMartino. Still DiMartino. She's a one-woman show right now, and then the sweeping tackle will be a throw in Notre Dame, but they get out of their own half here with 1 minute and 52 seconds left.
I love that attitude from DiMartino. Wynn does a really good job to get back and make it a 1v2 versus Freer, but love that in the final 2 minutes to go forward.
So layoff, it's Codd. Codd, great vision to get that on the other side of the field to Morgan Roy. Here's Roy sizing up Sammy Smith. Roy gets to the end line, drives it in. Who's there? Who else but Elise Evans? Chance to maybe go forward here in transition. They just dump it forward. And a big, big play there to get out of some danger. Here's DiMartino again for Notre Dame. To the feet of Chukwu. Chukwu got hacked down. It's going to be a free kick. Under 1 minute left here.
That's what Chukwu does so well. She just gets her body in front. It actually wasn't the most accurate pass from DiMartino, but Chukwu recognizes that, gets in front. It's her first step.
Well, Nate Norman is saying this should be a second yellow on that tackle and is sending off. And he's just picked up a yellow.
I understand the argument, though, from Nate Norman in this moment that it is a tackle from behind. It didn't look like any ability to play the ball, and there's space that was vacated that Chukwu would most likely be in going towards goal if the foul doesn't occur. We'll take a look at it here. So it's Freer just leaving her feet, and Chukwu's already in behind because she's beaten her to the ball. So I do think he has a legitimate argument.
52 seconds, the clock stopped. It's a set piece here. Lainey Matriano will stand over this. We have seen late goals in this tournament, Casey White.
We have.
Second and third ball is going to be important. Here it is. Matriano lays it up. It comes to the top of the box. Stanford is going to clear it. Goes right back in. It's a wise ball there. Evans has got to deal with it. Notre Dame will thump it into the box again here. Engle's in there. It comes to Chukwu. Chukwu trying to get turned, and Evans there again to save the day for Stanford. Under 20 seconds left. So the second half comeback complete for Notre Dame, 2-2. We're going to go to overtime.
Unbelievably exciting and entertaining game that they're treating us to. Notre Dame's mounting the comeback. Stanford has the opportunity to collect themselves right now. We know the sophistication that they have, so no telling how this overtime is going to play out.
Take a break. Notre Dame comes back 2-2 with Stanford. A great game here in the final of the ACC Women's Soccer Championship. We have seen goals like this. 2-2 after regulation, Notre Dame and Stanford.
Officer, could I get your perspective as a man of the law?
You know I'm a mall cop, right?
Let's say I obtain a car for less than you think it'd cost.
I don't follow.
You see this Hyundai Santa Fe?
Yeah?
Guess how much I paid for it.
Enjoy the new car.
Deal so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days on select Hyundai vehicles. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
For years, everyone thought Verizon had the best network, because they did. But now the best mobile network in the U.S. is T-Mobile. Some fancy experts finished a network test, and T-Mobile sort of opened a can of whoop-up. T-Mobile's network has the most advanced 5G, with more towers, and their signal reaches further than ever. So you can text and Insta-talk and say, "You won't believe where I am." Seriously, where am I? Hey, I got signal.
We've been framed.
You're in trouble, so we're here to help.
Kiss the ring right now. Kiss it.
This Thanksgiving,
I want the fox and that rabbit.
I would like to call a partner meeting.
We have to clear our names.
I got eyes on them. We need to just lay low. Flash, 100-yard dash. We need to get across town, ignore the laws.
No problem.
Disney Zootopia 2. Tickets available now.
Hey, your barber will be right with you.
One barber?
Hey, well, I'll get some burgers after this. So in.
Just the sides and the top, please.
Oh, Sam, keep it tight. Dude, yours looks great.
That's what I'm talking about.
Fresh. Now I'm kind of feeling chicken.
Can't wait to show my mom.
What kind of gift can $39 get you these days? It could send someone to their ancestral village and give them a taste of their heritage, from mom's side and dad's side. That's a big gift for a small price.
Welcome to the greatest show on earth. Oh, yes, sir! The ball is already rolling now for this new season.
Welcome back to the Allie ACC Women's Soccer Championship here in Cary, North Carolina. Both Notre Dame and Stanford getting set here for overtime. 2-2 in regulation. Stanford was up 2-0. Notre Dame comes back to tie it. Glenn Davis alongside Casey White. Let's look at goals.
Well, we promised that there'd be a lot of goals in this game, and they've certainly been up to it. Allie Montoya started things out for Stanford. Even though there was a lot of pressure from Notre Dame, it was Stanford that would go on top with a great finish to the back post. Lot of happiness getting on the scoreboard there. Jasmine Aikey would come out from halftime within 2 minutes. 47th minute, unleashes a rocket with the left foot.
Just like she did on Thursday night. But then The comeback would begin, Casey.
It certainly would, and it would only take 6 minutes to get 2 goals for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Izzy Engle does it all herself. She stays on her feet, then lifts it over Caroline Burkle as she comes out to put pressure on the center forward. A great finish to cut the lead to 2-1, and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish would be back in it, and they would continue to press forward. They would earn corner kick after corner kick. This is the one that would prove fruitful as Charlie Codd comes up big with the half volley.
It's a side netting, only her 2nd goal of the year. She's been outstanding in this tournament. And Notre Dame was feeling it. There's your goal scoring summary. Stanford in the black, in the white is Notre Dame. Golden goal is in effect. 2 10-minute periods. This all to crown a champion here. Stanford wins it, they will have won the regular season and the tournament. Notre Dame looking to win the tournament for the first time. Stanford the same thing. All of this ahead of the Division I bracket reveal on Monday, tomorrow. So Stanford's just going to drive it forward here to get territory and push up the field. Roy to Engle, feathery touch. Oh, put it through the legs of a defender. And Notre Dame now has opened it up nicely. Roy is wide open over here. They got to get her the ball. They do. Here's Morgan Roy. She's one-on-one. She's going to hit an early cross. The header from Engle is going to go wide.
I like this from Roy, though. There's so much space. Although I'd like to see her go 1v1 at Sammy Smith sometimes, at least on that service, she beats out that initial defender in Elise Evans. You have to bypass that player. There's no cover. So she has options here. Decides to go initially in there, goes over the head of Elise Evans, and Izzy Engle is close to connecting.
Burkle off the goal kick. We are definitely in for drama to find out who's going to be the champions of the ACC.
Well, something we're seeing from Stanford as well is Jasmine Aikey has gone back into a holding mid-roll alongside Elon Wynn. So some adaptability. We know she can play in multiple positions. That's the experience of Stanford showing Paul Ratcliffe, knowing his team, understanding that they can make some changes in game.
Chukwu rolled a defender, and great covering play to come over and support. I believe that was Elon Wynn.
She's put in a lot of effort, her mobility from the 6. She's trying to protect those center backs. It's not just the job of the center backs to deal with Chukwu and Engle up top. She's been a big part of that.
Off the turn again is Notre Dame. Here comes Engle. Engle's won it back. Engle takes a shot, took a deflection, and Evans is just going to clear this. Stanford now. They've gotten it wide. Basically 3 against 6 here. Stanford holding it up to get more into the attack and over the halfway line. They're going to get a cross in here. The header is missed, but Roy's going to get there and knock it out of bounds.
And Nate Norman's elected to keep DiMartino in off that left side. A big part of their continued growth into the game was Clinky and DiMartino's relationship. Not only Roy off this right side, but their ability to get forward off the left.
Kitahata. Smith. Kitahata again, and she's going to earn a free kick.
And well done by Kitahata. Sammy Smith as well. She's been great since she's come into the game, mostly in the second half, playing in that left back spot. There's space for Kitahata to take on. Matriano stepping aggressively, as we've seen from the Fighting Irish. But you see the experience from the winger just to draw the foul.
Redshirt senior, Kitahata, 13 goals, 7 assists. Also under 16, under 7, under 20 national team. Off the free kick here. That's going to float right into the box and staring right into the sun. And holding on to that is Sonoma Kasika. Here's Roy. She has been a tormentor all game. She bends it, just can't bend it back out into the path of Izzy Engle.
Well done, though, by the back line of Stanford, just to retreat a little bit. There's no pressure on the ball, so they try to minimize the space in behind. It makes it technically harder for the ball carrier and also easier for Burkle to read. Elise Evans is a huge part of that and how she's organizing the back line in her leadership role.
Into the box it comes. There's a second ball available here. Notre Dame's going to get it. Clear it towards Engle. Engle could, she's not going to be able to catch this one. She's quick. Smith will throw it in here. So what's important in a golden goal situation here from a team perspective?
Staying locked on in moments that are in and around your box, whether it's defensively, whether it's on the attack. It's usually the first to react in those types of moments that can really make the difference. Or one player just has to put it on their back.
Driven into the box. Aikey's in there. Swiveled out of there by Notre Dame, so some extended pressure now coming from Stanford. Kitahata with early delivery. It's a good touch wide. Buddha will hang a cross up. Is there anybody in there? Is there a chance to win it? No, it's cleared.
And that's it right there, Glenn. The marking did not stay with Kitahata. Kitahata read the service. Luckily for Notre Dame, Abby Mills is there to clear it out. But these are the critical moments, the fine margins, where not reading that was Morgan Roy on the back post with Matriano. One of them has to take Kitahata in that moment, but credit the winger for reading it well.
Just cannot turn your mind off for a moment. It's a good ball out wide. It was Freer who hit it. Notre Dame has made 15 changes here in the second half. The first half they made 5. To the end line, Stanford cuts it back again.
Well, to that point, Glenn, it's really allowed them to keep the pressing up high as they're trying to do now, keep the energy levels high.
My apologies, that's shots. 15-5. 5 shots in the first half for Notre Dame, 15 here in the second. Stanford had 6 in the first half, but only 3 in the second half here.
Well, either way, the energy's been high, wouldn't you say, Glenn, coming from
100%.
Notre Dame in this second half, really pushing it. And by that pressure, they haven't allowed Stanford to get into the attacking half very often, which is what they're known for with averaging over 4 goals a game.
Buddha off the throw. Stanford trying to get players in the box. Kitahata's in there. Ball goes over her head, and they will let this go out for the goal kick.
Much better marking from Morgan Roy. So she learns from the last one, gets between the ball, the player, and the goal, and is really able to shield that out, because Kitahata is an aerial presence on any cross.
Chukwu. Unforced error. From the dangerous center forward. Only takes 1 for her. Matriano plays the ball to make Roy run. And you can see, obviously, the heavy legs on both teams now.
Well, this is where you have to wonder where the experience comes from both teams. Both have a lot of experience playing in these big moments.
That's going to be a free kick. And that is Lizzie Buama, who's been pushed up to center forward. She played as a defender on Thursday night.
And she started this game in the back, too. Sammy Smith came in, now Buama playing a different role. Abby Mills gets turned. She knows she's in a bad situation here. That's why you manage yourself the entire game, and so you can have a foul in that moment. She knew Buama going to goal would be dangerous for Stanford, with her as a center back stepped out.
It was a good turn.
Very nice.
Elon Wynn to take the free kick. He's had an outstanding day in midfield here today. Wynn bends it towards the back post. It's headed across the face of goal to win it. What a chance on the left foot for Buama.
Buama's done well since she's gone in there. She was initially brought in just to create a two-front against the two center backs of Notre Dame, but now she's starting to get more into the game. It's a miss header in this moment by Klinke, goes right across, gets it on the bounce up, so not able to get her whole body over this. This is the pressure of set pieces and what it can do for you.
40 seconds left in the first 10-minute overtime session. Handball. See what Notre Dame wants to do here. They are going to lump it forward here. There's Chukwu. There's Chukwu. Goalkeeper made a move to get off her line. Still Chukwu. And great defending by Buddha to stay in it. Well, Notre Dame's just going to want to get it in the box here and take a shot. It's a long-range hit. It's blocked at the top of the box. First overtime session is over.
Oh my goodness, this is so much fun to watch, Glenn, honestly. Just both teams going end to end, no one settling for the tie.
Let's take a break. We got another overtime session to go. Will we see a golden goal here today? Stanford, Notre Dame tied at 2.
Hey, your barber will be right with you.
One barber? Hey, well, I'll get some burgers after this.
So in.
Just the sides and the top, please.
Oh, Sam, keep it tight.
Dude, yours looks great. That's what I'm talking about.
Fresh.
Now I'm kind of feeling chicken.
Can't wait to show my mom.
Why does Special K have 10 grams of protein? Yep, that's why. Special K. Special for a reason.
This is star power from the jump.
College basketball all season long on ESPN and streaming on the ESPN app.
Formula One is not following the script.
It's lights out and away we go.
Formula One all season long on ABC, ESPN, and streaming on the all-new ESPN app.
Welcome back to Cary, North Carolina. Glenn Davis, Casey White, Notre Dame and Stanford tied at 2 here. We're getting set for the start of the second overtime period. Take a look at the shots here today.
Well, Notre Dame 22-10 in total, but look at that second half. 15 of those 22 coming in the second half and even managing 2 in overtime. They've definitely started to put more on Stanford, but it is about efficiency. Stanford just needs that one chance potentially to put it away with all the goal scorers they have.
Notre Dame in white, in black Stanford. Golden goal in effect here for 10 minutes. If not, we're on to penalty kicks today. We are crowning an ACC Women's Soccer Championship winner. Charlie Codd knocks it forward here for Notre Dame. We were commenting in break just about the amount of running that wide players have made here today. It's just a job from 18 to 18 that's pretty relentless.
It certainly takes a specific player profile just from a physical standpoint, but definitely mentally as well. It's a lot of space to cover, especially on a beautiful field like here at First Horizon Stadium. They have to cover so much ground, and they've certainly done so.
Free kick, Stanford. Evans to the top of the box. The flick on. Shot will come in, easily handled there. The hit coming from Allie Montoya, who scored the opening goal here today in the first half. Morgan Roy trying to self-pass there, but Sammy Smith read it well for Stanford. And you had mentioned she got subbed in the first half, has never left the game.
She's been very good at the outside back position, just really comfortable coming into the game. That's not an easy role to play at times, but she has more than played in, and she's been a very capable 1v1 defender.
It's towards Engle. It's flicked on, and off her line is Burkle for Stanford. This is a character examination for two teams that have very good character. Bawama. Kasich Kitakata. It's a shot over the top. It would have ended it. Kitahata getting a decent look there.
Well, it's really good from Stanford because they intercept in the middle third. That's the danger area for both of these teams, is a turnover centrally. Kohler makes a run above the ball, so Kitahata's able to come back, receive defeat, and then she sets herself up, takes on players. She has a clear window to goal. Doesn't quite get the best of that shot off in the moment, but managing that middle third and turnovers when you're in expansive shape for both of these groups is critical, on top of just the box defending.
Boy, Andrea Kitahata today has been very impressive, taking people on relentlessly, earning free kicks, doing the defensive work as well.
And she's been like that since she was a 14, 15-year-old with the youth national teams. Just loves to take on in the 1v1 and continues to do it.
There's Brooke Holden now, who's just come off the bench for Stanford. Who is going to seize the moment here? Jasmine Aikey's going to try one. Not afraid to shoot from longer range. Had that huge goal to start the second half. That was just a long-range scorcher. And look at this drive forward here from Hodgkinson. Comes out wide. Notre Dame to try and win it at the near post. It's parried away.
Well, all of that comes from the counter pressing of Morgan Roy in the central area. If not, Stanford's going the opposite direction. Give her credit for stepping in and winning it, then finding Ellie Hodgson in this far side channel. Since she's come in, she has had a look to go forward. Burkle not able to handle it in this moment, and luckily for her, it goes out for a corner kick and nothing more.
2024, she made the all-freshman ACC team. She's only a sophomore from Dripping Springs, Texas. Had 8 goals last year. We got Stanford player down here near the halfway line. Allows everybody to collect themselves. We've got 6 minutes and 45 seconds left here. Second overtime period. Again, we remind you, golden goal is in effect.
Well, Glenn, this is just those moments that are, as a player, are so hard. There's so much energy expended in a game like this, and both of these teams just having to dig very deep in this moment. And you take a look at Elon Wynn as she walks off. She has covered so much ground and just so much physical effort that goes into trying to win an ACC championship.
They'll be right back at it again, both these teams, as the NCAA tournament comes quick and fast. This is the setup off the corner that Notre Dame scored off on the Charlie Codd hit. Matriano to take it. Off the corner, a wave of players towards the near post. It's flicked on. It's cleared by Evans. Who else? He's just been outstanding at the back here today for Stanford and throughout the tournament. Seen a lot of great defensive play from the individuals and collectively as well.
And it's not only the duels, but like an Elise Evans stepping the line as well to get out of the box to clear space.
Again, the ball comes in the box. Chukwu's there, trying to fend off a defender, cleared by Evans. Todd tried to help it on. And this will go out for another Notre Dame throw in here. You can almost feel the quiet, nervous tension by everybody here in the stadium. Engle. It's a good ball just to get it switched. Great combination there from Mills and Matriano to get it out wide to Morgan Roy. Big Stanford shift over. Here's Roy, still Roy against Smith. Smith got a block on it. Oh, great play from Evans not to concede the corner.
That might look like a small thing, but at this moment when there's tired legs, there's tired brains, all of that to not concede there, it could be critical just to allow your team not only to have a box not played in or a ball not played into the box, but also to step and get higher.
Notre Dame's trying to say this is a corner. It's going to be given a goal kick here by referee Nicole Green. Calzada comes up limping a little bit. Coming on now for Stanford is Eleanor Klinger.
Well, this is interesting, Glenn, because she has not been in the game for quite some time, and she is known for her breakaway pace, her speed, and her 1v1 ability. They're putting her at the 9, so they're hoping for tired legs here, her ability to come in off the bench and perhaps steal something at the end in attacking transition.
Yeah, we saw her attacking in the semifinal like crazy against Virginia. Now Jasmine Aikey has, much like the semifinal, dropped off in the midfield a little bit more now. Big ball in the box. Engle took a look, but Evans jumped in front to win it. Stanford again, they'll get it wide. Montoya, who is one-on-one right now. Montoya will hook a cross in, and it'll land on top of the goal, out for the goal kick.
And in addition to Klinger being in, Shea Harvey's been back in for a little while as well. That's one of the captains in the midfield. She had a long spell where she was on the bench and not in the game when they were defending quite a bit. But she's an aerial presence, but also now you're starting to think about penalty kicks potentially and what that might look like, what your lineup is if it does go to it, in fact.
Under 4 minutes. Are there more chances left here in this second overtime period? That's the question. Codd will drive it forward. Aikey's ball will go all the way back to the goalkeeper, Sonoma Kasica. DiMartino trying to get forward.
Good aggressive stepping from DiMartino. Well-timed tackle in this moment because you don't want to lose the ball in your defensive
She
third.
connects passes there with Chukwu. Chukwu taking off now and gliding in the box. Chukwu to win it! Huge save from Burkle. Still Notre Dame. Big switch on the far side of the field. Roy is going to get there. They've got 3 in the box. Codd is around the box as well. Notre Dame trying to put a header in there. Chukwu can't get there. Pouncing on it is Burkle. Well, we answered our question. There was another chance left in it.
Well, if this game has taught us anything, there's lots of chances. They're coming from everywhere. Chukwu gets facing forward, takes on, fins off the first challenge, slips through 2 defenders. Elise Evans is worried about fouling, lets her go. Burkle with the save.
Careful. Evans again with a huge tackle. Came across Izzy Engle, drives it forward now. There's a bit of a push here from both teams here, under 2 minutes left. Now to throw in here. Montoya. Aikey drives it in there with that left foot. Engle, Chukwu. Turned up the line, these two teams just exhausted here, going at each other. Codd. Roy, back to Codd. They've got numbers in attack here. Unfortunately, Codd gave it away. Now it's a chance for Aikey now. Towards Montoya. DiMartino looks fresh. Klinger gets it wide. Montoya hangs across, up headed away by Notre Dame. Aikey now. Klinger. Towards the back post. Out comes the goalkeeper, Kasika. Ball is still loose and she holds on to it. Early ball towards Engle. These two teams just butting heads like two ships in the night. Ball comes in the box. Goes all the way back to Kasika. It is on the penalty kicks here in Cary, North Carolina to determine a championship. All credit to these two teams and coaches here.
100%.
Involvement here today in this one. Klinke against Burkle. Leah Klinke has scored. So pressure immediately goes to Stanford here, to your point.
A confident penalty kick from Leah Klinke. She just goes for power in this moment, sends Burkle the opposite way, strikes it with her instep the entire time. Really confident penalty.
So the very busy Andrea Kitahata will come up to take the first penalty for Stanford. Another outstanding performance from her today. Kitahata against Kasika. She converts, great penalty.
And Kitahata steps up, one of the leaders for this Stanford team, not only in her ability to step up in big moments like a penalty kick, but also the passion you can see that she brings. Steps up, completely sends Kasika the wrong way. I don't think you're saving that even if you dive the right way in that moment. A great penalty kick.
So Tessa Knapp will step up now. She's a freshman from Bay Village, Ohio, and really came on and did a lot in the second half, brought a lot of energy. Knapp converts.
You can see the routine from Knapp in that moment. She goes into her routine, which is what you want. A big moment for the freshman. A lot of pressure for a first-year player stepping up and absolutely nails it.
Caroline Burkle guessed the right way. Just couldn't get there. So midfielder Shea Harvey now stepping up for Stanford. Who will want to convert here to keep it even after 2 rounds. Harvey, a tremendous penalty. 2-2 after 2 rounds.
She epitomizes efficiency in this moment. She goes through a little bit of deception, opens up her hips at the last second, and is able to bury it.
And that's what goalkeepers are trying to read, the hips.
Exactly.
So Izzy Engle now. Engle picks a corner and scores. Great penalty. We have seen 5 exceptional penalties so far.
When you come across your body that way, it has to be technically perfect unless you send the goalkeeper the opposite way. She does both. She sends Burkle the wrong way. Also, the technical execution piece is going right into the side netting.
Elon Wynn. She has had a great tournament as well. Wynn converts, 3-3 after 3 rounds.
You see that little hop to her left. It's incredibly hard to read as a goalkeeper where a player is going to go. She hops to the left, she goes through it, goes for power, comes across her body. Technically great in a very critical moment.
Morgan Roy now for Notre Dame. Roy saved! Caroline Burkle comes up with the save.
And a bit of a slow run up from Morgan Roy. She steps through and it's well read, just doesn't go quite wide enough in that moment. Burkle guesses the right way. Since it's not in the corner, she's able to get to it. It's mid-height, a little bit of an easier save for Burkle, but coming up big and reading it well.
Stanford now to take the lead, and they do. Excellent penalty. Mia Buta places it in the corner. So a miss or a save here, and Stanford will win the ACC Women's Soccer Championship. The talented midfielder Lainey Matriano to keep Notre Dame alive here. Matriano scores.
What a pressure moment for the midfielder Lainey Matriano, knowing you have to convert to keep your team in it. A great finish from her to the far post. Just steps up with confidence, keeps it low, and finds the side netting.
Next for Stanford, number 3,
Allie Montoya, who scored the game's opening goal here to win it for Stanford. Montoya. Saved! Sonoma Kasika. We live on in penalties.
And just a sense of joy and relief for Notre Dame. Allie Montoya steps up. She opens up her hips. Kasika reads it well. She does go into a full extension for the save. It's a little bit inside. It's looking to find that far corner, but not able to, so they'll have to rebound here.
Charlie Codd now for Notre Dame. Codd off the post. Tough moment for a midfielder. That was all action here today for Notre Dame.
Well, she certainly steps up with confidence, Glenn. She hits this quite well. She just comes across it, gets a little bit too far across it. It's bending a little bit wide, hits it with power, and it clanks off the post.
So the sophomore Charlotte Kohler, who had 2 goals against Virginia, to win it. Kohler has done it. Stanford will win the ACC Women's Soccer Championship here today on penalty kicks. They do the double, the regular season and the conference tournament.